In this video, I'm going to walk you through me using the online observer technique. And the target market that I want to find out more about is people that are interested in becoming freelance copywriters. Or in other words, it's people that want to write copy for other people's business and make that their full-time living. So I'm just going to say people that want to become freelance copywriters. And now the first marketplace that I feel is appropriate for this is the Amazon Kindle store. And as this loads, I'm also going to load up Udemy so I can look at some course reviews for people that want to become freelance copywriters. And then the last marketplace that comes to my mind for this group of people is a subreddit. So I'm just going to type in Reddit copywriting. And here it's reddit.com/r/copywriting. So I feel like between these three places, we're going to get a lot of great language for this specific target market. And we're also going to be able to learn about their pain points. So now I'm just going to write a heading that says pain points. And I haven't rehearsed this before, so you're watching this in real time. So this is the exact same process that you're going to be using for your own target market. So now I'm going to type in freelance copywriting. So right now this is the first book that comes up. And I'm just going to scroll to see if there's any other books that are close to that popularity. So this book up here has more reviews, but it's also not specific to people that want to become a freelance copywriter. Whereas this one down here is pretty well known, and it's specifically for people that want to become a freelance copywriter. So I'm going to start with this book. But I also could go with this book. And as you might have noticed, they're both by the same author. So now that I'm here, I'm going to scroll down to reviews. And this looks like another good book too, as a freelancer in 6 months or less. All right. So if you want, you can choose specifically. Do you want to look at the 3-star reviews, 4-star, 5-star? In general, I like to stay around the 4-star or 3-star, and specifically the 3-star, because usually the 5-star reviews are, hey, this book was incredible, it's awesome, all this good stuff that doesn't touch on the pain point as much. Whereas the 1-star review usually is like, this book sucks, it's terrible, waste of my time. Neither of them tend to hit the pain points as frequently as reviews that are more in the middle. So let's see what the 3-star review is. So right here is one pain point. I'm not sure how many writers this advice applies to. And this looks like another pain point. So already, from looking at this one review, this is really telling about what the market is wanting. So it looks like they might be looking for content that goes a little bit deeper on how to become a freelance copywriter, whereas this book is a little bit on the shallow end. So since there's not that many reviews for 3 stars, I'm going to try 4 stars. So in this case, it's not specifically a pain point where this person says, I'm suffering with this thing. but it tells you right here that this book will give you a starting place for building your portfolio, finding your first clients, and getting into the waters of this career. So what that tells me is the biggest pain points for people that want to become a freelance copywriter are likely to be building their portfolio, finding their first clients, and then also getting into the waters of this career, which I find really interesting. So I'm going to highlight that if I can find it. There we go. And of course, we don't want to just go off this one person. We want to keep looking through more of these reviews. So hopefully we find a thread or a common pain point that shows up over and over again. But my intuition tells me that building a portfolio is going to be one of the biggest pain points for people that want to become freelance copywriters and finding their first clients. So this is interesting to me here, where it says, if you need a jolt of confidence as a newbie freelance writer, get this book. And what that tells me is confidence is a big thing. So I'm going to start another list here that just says possible pain points. Building your portfolio, finding your first clients, confidence as a newbie freelance writer. Now notice how all of these pain points are coming directly from the customer language. These aren't pain points that I'm guessing this market is having. They're pain points that I know they're having because they're actually talking about it in the reviews. And that's what's so powerful about this technique and why we don't want to assume anything. Most of us are not very good at writing good sales copy. So to me, that doesn't speak to a specific pain point, but I still think it's interesting, so I'm going to write that down. And maybe when we go to write a sales letter or an email for this target market, using this language is going to be useful to us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start another line that says possible solutions. And in this sense, we want to find out what is our target market looking for, or what do they like as a solution. And I found some interesting things here. As you can see, you could do this for an hour easily. Just keep going through this. But for the sake of keeping this video short, I'm going to move on to our next place, which is Udemy course reviews. And I'll type in Freelance Copywriter. What I'm going to do is look at one of the bestsellers. I always like to go to the bestsellers first because you know there's the most content, the most number of reviews to look at. And just like in the other one, I'll start with the 3-star review. So this course is very tedious and monotonous for a novice. I was expecting this course to help me write step by step. So these could be pain points specifically about finding online learning about how to become a freelance copywriter. So in my case, the reason why I would want to learn about this target market, about people that want to become freelance copywriters, is because I want to create an online course that helps them learn how to become a freelance copywriter. And because of that, I consider this to be a very important pain point. This course is very tedious and monotonous, and this is one of the top, it is the top freelance copywriting course on Udemy, which is one of the biggest online course marketplaces on the internet. So that tells me that there's room for a new course that's not so tedious and not so monotonous. I need more practical advice. So this is telling me that people want more specific formulas. ADA is a copywriting formula that's really popular in the copywriting world. Now, some of these where it says nothing significant, going in the right direction so far, why is it not very clear till now? Yes, they're pain points, but they're not giving me any useful information, and that's why I'm skipping right over them. And there are 1,700 reviews for this course alone, and then, of course, there are multiple courses about becoming a freelance copywriter. So there's no point going after information that's not that helpful to us. There's plenty of reviews, so we can keep going until we find ones that provide juicier information. So this is interesting because it tells me that people in this market really want encouragement. And they also like tools for beginners to get started. So confusing to follow. It's interesting to me, but it's not specific enough information where it's actually going to help us. So here I would have liked a chance to submit something or more testing. I think that's useful information. So then, for example, when I'm going to write a sales letter that's convincing people to enroll in my online freelance copywriting course, I can say that this course is filled with engagement with your instructor, and there's opportunities for you to submit something and for you to test your own abilities through mini missions or actionable exercises. So what's so powerful about this method is if you use this method before you even create your product that you're offering your target market, it'll help you determine what you want to build. Instead of building a product that you think people will like and then trying to write the copy, it's better, if possible, to write the copy first, because through that process, you're going to learn so deeply what your target market actually wants that you can build a product around that without any guessing needed. So that feels like a good place to stop for Udemy. Again, I could do this for an hour and get a lot of information. But for the sake of keeping this video relatively short, I'm going to go to the last place, which is the Copywriting Subreddit. And what I like to do whenever I'm browsing on a subreddit is start by looking at the top post of all time. Especially in a subreddit like this, copywriting, because it doesn't have that many people inside of it. It's 17,000, whereas a lot of other subreddits might have over 100,000 or 1 million people in it. And let's just take a look at the top post. And what I'm also going to do is look at the comments to this post. Because I find that the comments are usually way more valuable than the posts themselves. So just my first impression of this subreddit is that I'm not going to find that much information about the pain points. It's going to be a lot more effective for me to spend my time on the book reviews or the online course reviews. However, if I want to learn more about how this target market thinks, what their sense of humor is, then this is a great place to look at, because this is a more casual conversation. So for example, in this post, I've seen this before and I think it's pretty funny, but it's a local police department that use copywriting principles to try and get drug dealers to turn in their competition as a way to increase their market share. And so this is something that if you were to teach an online course about copywriting, you can use this as an example, because you know that other copywriters in this niche love this. They think this is hilarious. And if you read the comments here, you can learn a lot about even how to break this down. There's a copywriter here that took the time to break down why this is so effective, and also some ideas on how they can make it stronger. But in this example, it doesn't make sense, at least from what I've read so far, to add any of this into this Word document. But this is the part where it becomes more of an art than a science. And you're going to have to use your intuition to decide, is there anything worthwhile in the subreddit to make note of? Or do I want to just stay on the pain points, stay focused, and then you could go on the Kindle store or the Udemy course reviews. So that's it for this video. Inside of this video, you watched over my shoulder as I found a lot of customer language and pain points using the online observer technique.